so lovely today. If you're new here, hi, welcome. My name is Morgan, and this is Portraits, where I focus on auras and I paint portraits of them. And if you're returning, welcome back. I'm so happy to have you back as always. Love you. Also, can we talk about how cute this hat is? I found it in my closet, and I'm so happy about it. I found like my whole hat collection, and I adore this hat. It's so cute. So since springtime is right around the corner, I thought that it would be kind of festive and just appropriate to do a reading based on how your aura is blooming and how you are blooming as a person, how your energy is evolving during this time. If you're anything like me, you love to see like time lapses of flowers blooming and things growing and evolving and changing, and so that's kind of what I'm going to be doing here for you. I'm going to be showing you your aura and how it's evolving over time. And if you are new here, you're going to see how that goes as we go along. I'm going to be drawing out your aura on the screen while I'm giving you that explanation. And so all you have to do is pick one of the 3 piles that I'm about to show you, and then there will be a timestamp for each pile listed down in the description of this video as well as in the comments. So I'm going to give you that pile selection now, and then I will see you at your pile. Pile number 1. Pile number 2. And pile number 3. Hello, pile number 1. I'm so happy that you're here. Thank you for being here. So what I first want to do is draw some oracle cards for you guys to kind of pick up a vibe of how your energy is looking currently and how it is going to be evolving. So first I have these zodiac cards that I created myself. What does your energy look like as of right now, going into the spring season? Pre-bloom, we'll say. How's pile 1's energy feeling pre-bloom phase? The weirdest thing just happened. So like 2 cards fell out, and right when they fell out, I have a candle lit, and the candle went like it reignited, which was so weird. So I'm gonna say that these 2 cards are gonna be pre-bloom and post-bloom, because you got, and one of them came out like upside down, the other one came out upright. So I'm assuming that pre-bloom is Pisces, and it says creative, imaginative, secretive, impersonal, and inconsistent. It's really pretty. And then we have Aries for post-bloom, and that says fiery, passionate, blunt, and impatient, which, if these are the 2 contrasting energies, they are definitely contrasting, and that makes so much sense. I'm getting a pretty good vibe already. I'm going to pull from my Moonology deck. How is pile number 1's energy blooming this spring season? There's a lot here. Okay, so we got 4 cards to come out. So let's see. Got full moon in Scorpio, and it says it's time to release negativity. Then new moon, a new start is coming. You are good enough, full moon in Virgo. And communication is key, new moon in Gemini. Wow. You got, hold on. You got 2 full moons and 2 new moons. You are good enough, communication is key, it's time to release negativity, and a new start is coming. Wow. So the 2 new moons says communication is key, new moon in Gemini, and a new start is coming with the other new moon card. So right off the bat, if there is a Gemini in your life that you've been struggling to connect with, that you want to connect with or you want to understand better, communication is definitely going to be essential in that relationship. And I feel like connection with this Gemini is going to be an essential part of your new start, because there's something there that needs to be expressed, and I feel like the longer that it goes unexpressed, then it's going to keep weighing down on you more and more, and it's time to just like let everything out and allow them to let everything out without judgment and just lay it out all on the table. And because it needs to go, it needs to be left in the past, but you can't just like forget about it, you know? So it's not something that you can just ignore and like leave in the past. It has to be addressed and then released. released to the wind. And then with the 2 full moon cards, it's saying it's time to release negativity, full moon in Scorpio, and then you are good enough, full moon in Virgo. There could very well be a Scorpio or a Virgo in your life that has held you to really high standards and made you feel like you're not good enough, or made you feel like the way that you feel so intensely, because Scorpio moon, like, that's a very intense, deep feeling placement for the moon. I would know, I have a Scorpio moon. But if you have been kind of like shunned for being like overly emotional or too dramatic or too sensitive, I think that's a connection in your life that needs to be cut off. You should feel comfortable expressing however you feel, right? And you shouldn't be told that you're a problem because you're feeling things so deeply. If anything, other people need to really be able to see things at that depth and with that intensity, because it is, whatever you're feeling, it's intense and it's for good reason. But people telling you that, like, you know, you're being overdramatic or whatever, or you're not good enough, and like, ooh, I'm getting like somebody is seeing your emotions as a weakness, because I feel like full moon in Virgo and full moon in Scorpio, those are kind of very contrasting. I feel like somebody with a Virgo moon would be a lot more like logical and practical, whereas the Scorpio moon is going to be a lot more emotional and sensitive. If there's somebody in your life, it kind of feels like a mother figure maybe, that has been treating you like you're not good enough, or that you're not worthy of love because of your emotions. I don't want to say cut her out like that, because that's, you know, that's not the easiest thing to do if it is a mother figure, but just in general, if there's people in your life that don't feel things as deeply as you do, they're going to make you think that the way that you feel, and because you feel so passionately about things, they're going to see that as a weakness. They're going to see it as something that gets in the way of success, or, you know, your career or reality. It's okay to feel those things. And I think the message that I'm getting right now is like finding this balance. Like, ooh, okay. I think I'm going to get started on the aura right now, because I don't want to go too far into it with the cards, but I have a pretty solid idea of what I'm trying to explain here. So let's just jump right into that aura reading. Alrighty, pile number 1. So before I get into explaining the message behind your aura, I'm going to let you guys know some things that have been coming through that I just started channeling like the second that I started recording, and then we're going to get into the message. But I felt like it was important to let you guys know what downloads are coming through. So a few names are coming through. Let's start with Max and Maxine and Jeremy, and there's a D name, Dane or Danny, Daniel, Devin, a lot of D names actually. And come to think of it, there was mostly male names that just came through, so you could be a male watching this, or there could be a significant male in your life with any of those names. Also, there's an R name that's coming through. Randall, maybe Rachel, Riley or Rylan, and Sammy is coming through. Oh, and Ricky was coming through, but with an I at the end, so I think that was a feminine version of that name. Something else that's coming through is Aquamarine. I don't know if this is referring to the stone or the movie from way back in the day, which was such a good movie, by the way. And you know what? I think mermaids are going to be really significant to this pile somehow. Mermaids, sirens, because when I said Ricky, I thought of the girl, well, the character from that show, H2O, which was about mermaids, and I've never even met a girl with the name Ricky, so it's weird that that came through, but if that resonates for you, then you'll know. So yeah, mermaids could be significant, and just water in general, and it makes sense that we said that you're currently in like a Pisces energy, and you're going to be blooming into Aries. So, and that's so weird. I was also going to bring up just jazz music in general, but then I was also going to clarify that and specify by saying that song that plays at the end of the Finding Nemo movie, Beyond the Sea by Bobby Darin. I love that song so much. But yeah, you have a lot of water energy going on, which means a lot of emotions and a lot of emotional depth and intensity. But here's the thing is that it's not coming through like deep, dark, like treacherous pit kind of ocean intensity. It just is very lighthearted, but still emotional. And I think that is the overall vibe of your aura, or at least like how you're going to be blooming into this new energy, because I think that you are coming to terms with your emotional self and really learning how to embrace the more feminine parts of yourself. And that's not to say like, the stereotypical feminine masculine. That's like your emotional, nurturing, caregiver type energy. Um, I believe it's the yin and yang. And I feel like you have been shown in the past that like you're not safe to feel emotional, and that was really hard for you because you felt emotions so intensely and so deeply, and to have somebody make you feel like you shouldn't be having those emotions or that you're weak for having those emotions, like that really hurts because you're holding on to so much and you shouldn't have to, right? You should feel comfortable expressing those emotions. And so right now I think that you're not like you're finding like this happy balance, this happy medium where you aren't like standing up to somebody in a way that's aggressive, or you're not like getting payback against anybody, and you're not searching for karma for anybody that made you feel that way about your emotions, but you are finally stepping into a place where you can say, I don't care how you think I should feel, because I feel how I feel, and I have every right to express that, as long as you're not like, trying to start a fight or something, or looking for drama or anything, which I doubt that you are. But I think that you hide so much of your personality because it was always so emotional and you felt so strongly about things, but it's okay. And you're coming to that point where you realize that, and you're not letting other people influence you or your emotions in that way. And I do just want to point out a few things that I noticed about this aura, and I love this aura so much. I love how it turned out, and it's it's a really positive vibe for you. I think now is such a good time for just your energy in general, because when I look at auras, I make the connection to chakras, and you have such a healthy balance right now. There's not any really green in there, but I think that you are in that process. Like there will be green in your aura once you kind of get out of this phase, this stage of blooming, right? Um but you have like a perfect balance of the root chakra, the sacral chakra, and then you're tapping that into your your higher conscience, like the purple and the blue. It's all kind of stabilizing right now. And so I think that once you get to that point and you find that balance of this is why I feel this way, but I'm still grounded and I'm still here in reality, but I am allowed to feel this way. And, you know, I am self aware enough to make that known to people that I do feel how I feel and I'm allowed to do that. And then I think once you finish this blooming phase, then you can start feeling comfortable putting your heart into things and having that heart chakra really expand in that way. So with all that being said, pile number 1, I hope that you liked your finished aura, and I hope that you enjoyed this reading. And if you don't mind doing me a solid and showing me some support by liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing, and of course, hit that bing bong so that you never miss a new upload from me. And I hope that you have a spring as beautiful as you, and I hope to see you again in the future. Bye, pile 1. I love you. What is good, my lovely pile number 2s? Thank you so much for being here. So, like I said in the intro, we're going to be looking at your aura and how it is blooming during the spring season, as well as how it currently looks pre-bloom, and then how it's going to look post-bloom. So first we're going to start off with these zodiac cards that I personally created myself. I'm going to get a zodiac energy for how your aura currently is and how it's going to look post-bloom. So what does pile number 2's aura currently look like pre-bloom? And I'm hearing something about I'm hearing to let go of perfection right off the bat. If Virgo comes out, I will not be shocked. You could have a Virgo South Node and a Pisces North Node. That's only for some of you. So what does their aura currently look like? Oops. I literally, okay. I'm not even kidding you. I knew it. So it says Virgo, logical, focused, goal-oriented, demanding, and high expectations. And here is the picture. Oh, there it is. All right, so that is how your aura... Literally, okay, this is literally the Pisces card is right next to it. That's so funny. Do I draw another card? Okay, I'm gonna draw another card just to see. But I'm pretty sure it's the same energy that I'm thinking. Ooh, okay. So what came out was Gemini and Libra. For Gemini, it says social, witty, dramatic, nosy, and outgoing. For Libra, it says friendly, funny, opinionated, and open-minded. So that is kind of the same energy that I was going for, just in a different sense. So we have pre-bloom and post-bloom. Sorry if that's kind of hard to see with the colorful background. Now I want to get an emotion card for pre-bloom. That is pile 2's energy and aura pre-bloom. Okay. So we got smug and silly. Okay. So how... Oh. Ooh. Oh gosh. We got guilt and sad. Okay. I'm gonna put these right in the middle because they came out while I was asking, and I feel like there is an energy of that during the blooming process. So now we will look at what your energy is post-bloom. What's the emotion that symbolizes pile? Oh. Okay, we got joy and dazed, and there's another one behind here. And happy! Are you serious? Oh, and love is on the bottom of the deck. That is so perfect. Okay, that is so cute. Okay, so now let's look at moon cards. What message do you need to know about your blooming process? Expect powerful change, new moon eclipse. Hold on. And don't let your past hold you back. South Node. What did I just say? That you might have a South Node in Virgo. Oh my god. A time to give rather than take, new moon in Virgo. Crazy. Okay, so you might also have a Virgo moon. Oh, you know what's crazy? Is that this says new moon in Virgo, and this says new moon eclipse. So that's like the Virgo moon in you, or whatever placement you have that kind of brings out this like perfectionist side, it's getting shaded. We're kind of like putting it aside for a little bit and for enough time to actually do what you want to do and have fun and not worry about if it's perfect. The thing is like, we're talking about flowers blooming and such, but like you don't, like flowers don't think about being perfect before they bloom. And they're always beautiful, right? But even though they're beautiful, people are still going to be allergic to some of them. And that's okay. That doesn't mean they're any less beautiful. I'm just getting this message of like, you're not everybody's cup of tea, and that's okay. That doesn't mean that you should stop shining because of that. So I think that I'm going to jump straight into your aura reading from this. I'm going to start drawing out your aura, and you'll see how it goes as we go along if you're new to this. And yeah, let's just get started with that. Alrighty, pile number 2. So before I get into explaining the colors of your aura and what they all mean, the first thing I want to mention is something that stood out to me when I was drawing the cards that I pulled for your pre-bloom phase. The cards that came out were smug and silly. And to me, when I hear silly, I think of like goofing around, joking around, just like that kind of silly. Like, you're being so silly right now, you know. But I looked up the definition of the word silly, and this is what it actually means: having or showing a lack of common sense or judgment, absurd and foolish, similar, foolish, and stupid. And that made a lot of sense to me because I'm not saying that you were stupid in your pre-bloom phase. I'm just saying that for smug and silly to both come out, I think that you were so attached to this idea that if you did something that you enjoyed doing and you looked confident doing it, then people would either see you as like smug and full of yourself and like rubbing your skill in everyone's face and show-offy and arrogant like that, or people would be like, that's silly, that's stupid, that's foolish, like you looked stupid. Potentially somewhere in your life, somebody made you believe one of those two things, if not both. Like, you could never be happy doing what you loved. Every time that you were happy doing something, it like was seen as unproductive, or like if you're good at it, then you shouldn't be allowed to show your skills because that makes you look arrogant and smug and full of yourself. But if you're not doing it to your fullest potential, then it's not good enough, or you look stupid doing it. And that really sucks, dude. That's hard to deal with. I can't imagine. It's like you've had this thought in your head of like, I can never win. It's never going to be enough. It's never going to be right. And so later on down the line, where you were at during your pre-bloom stage, at this phase in your life, you had held yourself to such high standards because that's what you thought that you had to do. But people in your life were never satisfied. It didn't matter if you did it perfect. It didn't matter if you did it like, it didn't matter how you did it. They weren't going to be satisfied. And now you are realizing that their opinions have nothing to do with you. What you do is all up to you. And who cares what they think? Because you know in your heart that what you do is good enough. If you know in your heart that you did your best, then it is not up for debate whether or not you did your best, because no one else can tell you what your best is. And if they don't like what you did, let's say it's like art or like a performance of some kind, or like a business idea that you came up with and that you're running with, or like a food that you made or something like that. If you did your best and you know that, it is not up for debate, and they cannot tell you it's not good enough or something like that, you know, because who cares what they think? They're not the judge. There's no judges. And yes, there are going to be people judging you, but you're not living a competition. And you're not in a place where you're always fighting to be the best. So you don't care anymore. I think after this blooming process, if you haven't hit that stage already, you are going to realize, like, I am my own person. And okay, I came up with this quote a few years ago, and I think it's really important for this pile specifically to hear. And if you've watched my videos, you've probably heard me say it before, but no one's validation will make your work any better than it already is. Sit with that if you still need to, because it's true. Like, they're gonna think whatever they think. And yes, people are gonna judge what you do, but why not be happy while you're doing it? People are gonna judge you whether it's good or bad, so why not just be happy? Why not do what makes you happy? Why not do your best and not worry about what everyone else sees as the best? Because there's people out there that are looking for things that you are doing. But if you're trying to mold your creations and your life into someone else's perception of what good is, then that's not being authentic. And I think that coming into your authentic self is really going to be the main source of abundance for you after this blooming process. I really do. And I think that you're going to go really far with it. But you just have to realize these people don't matter. Their opinions don't matter. And you can judge me all you want, but like, if I'm happy, then why would you judge a person's happiness? Why would you say they can't be happy? That's on you. That's not on me. Sounds like a personal problem, you know? If you want to go ahead and be miserable and judge other people for being happy, go ahead. But I'm happy, so. Also, this is like a random side note, but jade keeps coming through, the stone, the color green in general, which is weird because there's not a lot of green in your aura, but I do think that having some kind of green stone, whether that's jade, emerald, green aventurine, anything like that, I think that's really going to help you to get in touch with your heart chakra and to kind of open up from this space of your own inner joy and abundance, and not so much worrying about the outside world. I don't want you to worry about the outside world. I want you to focus on how you feel. And I think it's also important to mention that there is a lot of pastel colors in your aura. There's a lot of like pink and very feminine colors, and I think it's because you are learning to tap into your more feminine energy, your more feminine side, your emotional and nurturing and playful side. I think that you've been stuck in a masculine energy because that's what you were always expected to do. You thought that you had to work harder, you thought that you were in constant competition and you always had to be the best. And it's understandable why you would be in that more masculine energy of always doing and competing and very action oriented, and not so much doing that like inward reflection, because you didn't think that you were allowed to. You didn't think that feelings and emotions were productive because that's what someone made you believe. I also want to bring up something that came through as I was editing this. When I mentioned jade, I thought of the jade technique in communication, which I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but if not, I will quickly explain. It is when you're dealing with a difficult person and they're bringing something to your attention or calling you out for something that isn't even true, or they're accusing you of something you didn't do. So for the jade technique, the whole premise of it is to not justify yourself, do not argue, do not defend yourself, and don't explain, because that will make it a lot harder for the other person to have anything to come back with, because you're not giving them any ammunition, and you just don't have the time of day to deal with difficult people. Don't even worry about their responses. Just be very short, blunt, to the point, and direct, and don't bother wasting your energy on people that only want to get a reaction out of you. I just felt like that was really important to mention. But with all that being said, pile number 2, this is your finished aura, and I think it's so freaking gorgeous, and I love how it turned out. I hope that you enjoyed this reading, and if you could do me a solid and show me some support by liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing, and of course, hit that bing bong so that you never miss a new upload from me. With all that being said, I hope that you have a spring as beautiful as you, and I love you, pile 2, and I hope to see you in the future. Bye! What's good, pile number 3? Thank you so much for being here. I can't wait to get into this reading for you guys. So first, what we're going to be doing is looking at your aura pre-bloom, and I'm going to be using my astrology cards that I personally made to get an idea of what energy you're currently in, and then we're going to look at your energy, how it's going to look post-bloom. So what is pile 3's energy pre-bloom during this spring season? What zodiac sign best embodies the energy that they are currently in? Okay, we got Cancer, and it says soft, nurturing, passionate, loyal, and possessive. So, what does pile 3's aura look like post-bloom? What zodiac sign best embodies the energy of their aura post-bloom during the spring season? Okay, we got Taurus. And it says fixed, stubborn, grounded, and reliable. Now I'm going to get a Moonology card. What does pile 3 need to know regarding their energy pre-bloom during the spring season? Thank you in advance. Oh, wow. It says, nothing will come of this situation. Void of course, moon. Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, I just got really heavy in the heart. What does pile 3 need to know about their energy post-bloom? What does pile 3 need to know about their energy post-bloom? Don't let pride get in your way. Full moon in Leo. And I do want to get one more just for the blooming process. How's that going to look for you? Expect powerful change. Take time to breathe out. And don't let your past hold you back. Ooh, I just got ringing in my ears. In my right ear. Actually, both ears. That was weird. I do actually want to pull from this deck for your blooming process. Let's see. What is that process going to look like for pile number 3? Oh. Water your garden. Nourishment, body care, tenderness, and rest. Weight of the world, boundaries, let it go, it's not yours to carry. And then lifting the veil, questioning everything, anything unaligned must go. Yeah, okay. I definitely have a really good idea of what this energy is. There's an ancestor that wants to come through for you guys. It's a feminine energy. What does this ancestor want pile 3 to know? Messenger. Serious energy, bringing harmony and balance. Can you expand on that? It might be a masculine energy now that I think about it. It's like a masculine with feminine energy. Very, very caring and nurturing, like the Cancer card said. What do they want you to know? It's a very protective energy. Oh. Child of the cosmos, the intelligence of the universe lies within you. And the 7 star sisters, birthing creations, tapestry of life and expression. This feels like a parent. If you, oh my gosh, I didn't think that I was going to cry during this reading, but I might, because it's getting there. It's heavy. It's not heavy, it's really sweet. It's just coming through really strong. And I cry very easily. If you have sisters, look to them during this time. If you guys have kind of grown apart over the years, they're going to be essential during this time for you. You and your sisters are going to do a lot in this world. We have the great severing, Mars energy, anger, conflict, and softening to love. Yeah, if there was something that split up the family, you need to, obviously under the right circumstances, get the family back together, because there's a lot of magic that can happen there. And there's something that's meant to happen. Literally, I split the deck and it says you're not alone. Isolation, physical connection, and community. You have family that wants to connect with you. So, with all that being said, I'm going to jump into your aura reading now. I'm going to start drawing out your aura. You'll see how it goes as we go along if you're new to this. And yeah, I will see you there. Alrighty, pile number 3s, let's get into it. For your guys' reading, I kept hearing over and over again, let it go, just let it go. And it seems like this message is coming through from some parental figure, some authority figure that is either currently in your life, has passed, or it's one of your ancestors, it's one of your spirit guides, but it's very parental. And it's saying just like, be the bigger person, this isn't worth it. I think you're really angry about something that happened. Something in your life, whether it was whether it was recent or not, wasn't fair. And you're really angry about that, understandably. And this feels like somebody is trying to hold you back from doing something out of anger, really. You might want to get revenge. You might want to take action on this in a way that makes it seem fair in your mind, at least for the short term. But what I'm seeing is just like you not caring what the consequences are, and you not thinking through long enough to say, I'm calm, I'm gonna get over this, I'm gonna get through this. This isn't something that you can get over very easily. And I feel like there is a lot of anger, not only for this situation that was so unfair, but there might be a lot of anger towards other people in your life that are saying, let it go, it's not worth it, don't get involved, stuff like that. So I think this whole blooming process is really going to be about you acknowledging what emotions are there, acknowledging the hurt that you went through, and letting yourself feel those emotions without acting on them, if that makes sense. Because I know that you're very smart. You're so smart. And I can hear this spirit guide of yours saying the exact same thing. You're very smart. And the actions that you want to take, depending on what this is, aren't going to resolve the situation. It's not going to make things fair. It's not going to make you feel better by getting revenge or trying to make it even, you know? And I'm not sure what happened or who hurt you or who hurt somebody else in your life, but your family, whether that's your family now, your physical blood family, your friends, your star family, your ancestors, they are here for you 100% of the way. And I think during this blooming process and during this spring season, they really want you to reach out to them because they want to help you through this. They want to be there for you. They want to support you, and they don't want to see you make a stupid decision based off of the emotions that you're feeling in the short term. I didn't expect for this reading to get really dark, but if you're going through a lot right now, just hang tight because somebody needs to hear this message, so I'm gonna say it. If you're looking for a more lighthearted message, I have other piles, I have other readings, but this is important. If there, oh God. Okay, let me ease into this, or at least try to, because there's no easy way to put it. When I saw the card, The Great Severing, I keep getting brought back to that card, and if you have had somebody in your life taken from you too early, it's understandable that you would want to get revenge on the person that took that person's life from you. And I'm sorry, if it was in a car accident, I can see maybe a potential drunk driver being the person that you're so mad at. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm just hearing over and over again, just let it go. It's not something that you're gonna be able to let go of easily. And that's completely understandable. It really is. But this time for you is going to be about introspection and, like the card said, softening to love. And I'm not saying you ever have to forgive that person, because honestly, in my own personal opinion, people say like learning to forgive is for yourself, and once you can forgive someone, you're not holding on to that anymore. You don't have to forgive anybody. You don't have to. And there's some things that are truly unforgivable. You can choose to come to terms with what that person has done, and you can come to terms with who they are and the mistakes that they've made, but you can't change them, and you shouldn't forgive them. That's just a fact. They altered the entire course of your life, and potentially, if this does resonate that way, took somebody else's. That's not forgivable, and it never should be. Also, I'm
hearing something, a name, Mary, Alexis. There's a V name coming through. Victoria, Vanity, Alicia, and a few male names are coming through. There's Zach, Ryan, Trenton, Sam, Carter, and oh god, like 3 just came through at the same time. Lincoln, Douglas. Lincoln sounds like a street name. I'm not gonna keep expanding on that whole scenario in case it is resonating. I don't want to bring up too many emotions for you. But even if this isn't your situation, I think the whole premise of this pile is to soften to love and to not necessarily let go of what has happened, but accept that it can't be changed. And feel out this side of yourself that maybe hasn't been really visible to you in the past, this angry side, because your pre-bloom astrology card that came out was Cancer. And after seeing all the other cards that came out and switching from Cancer to Taurus, I feel like what is happening right now, it didn't switch from Cancer to a fire sign, which if that were the case, it would be a lot more like vengeful. And even though you might feel that way, I think that process of realizing your anger is what is going to lead you to what came through for your post-bloom card, which was Taurus. So from Cancer to Taurus, that is going to be your blooming transformation, because I think that you're going to be able to really tap into that anger that you haven't necessarily felt before. And once you're able to acknowledge what's happened and accept it, come to terms with it, and then harness that power, harness that energy, that anger into something that is productive and something that pushes you forward, something that is going to help release it without taking it out on somebody, you're going to be in that Taurus energy after post-bloom. You're going to be stable, you're going to be reliable and grounded, and you're going to feel a lot more balanced and whole